money with NBD, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBD, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBD, it's more money.
Just check NBD.
More money with NBD, it's more money.
DBS News.
And welcome back. A 24-year-old Casabras man has pleaded guilty to the October 29, 2021 murder of businessman Philip Roll in Sylvania. Journalist Ronaldo Luke reports.
On Thursday, the court was scheduled to begin the murder trial of Ronaldo Wilshire. However, before the jury was impaneled, His Lordship, Justice Colin Williams, informed the accused of the potential benefits of an early guilty plea, including a possible sentence the court could impose if the case proceeded to trial. Wilshire, who was represented by attorney-at-law Tihani B. Hansen, then chose to change his plea to guilty. The court subsequently ordered a social inquiry report to be conducted before sentencing, which is expected to take place later this month.
Meantime, a 5-man, 4-woman jury has acquitted a 50-year-old Portsmouth man of robbery. Ralston George was charged with robbery of over $59,000 in jewelry, cash and other items between April 22nd and 25th at Portsmouth in 2018. More from Ronaldo Luke.
The virtual complainant, during her testimony to the court, stated that on the evening of April 23, 2018, she was living in an apartment upstairs her restaurant, Tomato Cafe in Portsmouth. She said on the night in question she was half asleep when she saw George in her apartment. Summers stated he began choking her and threatening her with a knife whilst demanding her chain and watch. During what she described as a petrifying attack, she told the court that she was dragged, kicked, punched, choked, and the accused used a steel-toe boots to press her face onto the ground. As a result of the brutal attack, the virtual complainant stated she was left with no choice but to hand over an envelope with cash, her jewelry box, and her phone to George. However, in a sworn statement from the prisoner's box, the accused told the court he and Summers were lovers, a claim the virtual complainant earlier denied. He said he started a relationship with someone else, which caused the virtual complainant to get angry, resulting in the allegations. He admitted to the court that in 2018, shortly after Hurricane Maria, he left Dominica illegally since his passport was destroyed. Judge further denied entering the virtual complainant's home on the night in question and told the court he would not apologize to Summers as he did nothing wrong to her. During closing arguments on Wednesday, State Attorney Kevin Julian, who had conduct of the prosecution's case, asked the jury to let common sense prevail when considering the evidence. However, defense attorney Don Yearwood Stewart told the 5 men and 4 women that the state had failed to put forward a case of robbery since little mention was made of the items stolen and the virtual complainant was untruthful in her testimony. After deliberating for over 2 hours, the jury returned with a not guilty verdict against George. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
Special thank you to Ronaldo Luke for that report. And Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Lucian Blackmore, has called on the youth of Dominica to be advocates on matters relating to climate change and its effects. His call came during a round-the-table discussion at the UE Global Campus Dominica conference room this morning. Today's event was spearheaded by the Dominica's branch of the Caribbean Youth Environmental Network, focusing on the topic Youth Action in Climate Adaptation.
Now for you really want to be also very interested in the whole question of how you sort of position yourself for getting involved in the dialogue, getting involved in the changing of mindset, getting involved in cultivating and developing the right attitude, the right choices, and of course that will lead to the right practices. I am saying all this because for you, first of all, as the members of the Caribbean Youth Environment Network, and of course the Dominica branch, and more specifically too, I will want to appeal to Ms. Jeffers, since it has to start with the members of the group. If you're talking about calling for action in terms of climate adaptation, it has to start with a personal and individual responsibility. And why do I say that? The reason for this, we have to understand how we are a society. And it's very easy to look at it. We all come from families. families constituted members of the families. And so it's what we bring to the table that first of all have to matter. So when we look at the whole question of climate change, it has to be something that we have to personally identify with. What can I do to change around the situation? By my thinking, by my belief, by my action, and of course by my advocacy.
And that was the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Lucian Blackmore. And a consultant psychiatrist at the Acute Psychiatric Unit, Dr. Nadia Wallace, has called on workplaces to transform their environment to ensure that mental well-being is valued. Her call comes as Dominica joins the rest of the world to observe Mental Health Day today.
Today, October 10th, as we commemorate World Mental Health Day 2024, we shine a spotlight on this year's crucial theme. It's time to prioritize mental health in the workplace. As mental health challenges continue to rise globally, especially in professional environments, this day serves as a call to action for all of us to include organizations, employers, and employees alike to foster healthier and more supportive workspaces. In a fast-paced world where productivity and success come at the cost of personal well-being, mental health is frequently overlooked. Studies have shown that a significant percentage of employees experience stress, anxiety, and burnout due to work pressures, leaving many of them feeling unsupported by their organizations. This trend is unsustainable, not only for individual health but also for overall productivity and corporate culture. Mental well-being therefore must be seen as a priority and not a luxury.
Dr. Wallace says employers have a responsibility to take action to improve the work environment.
The global workforce has witnessed significant changes over the past few years, with remote work, hybrid models, and increasing technological demands. All these add new layers of stress. So as we continue to adapt to these changes, mental health in the workplace has never been more important. Creating a supportive environment is not just the right thing to do. It also enhances creativity, productivity, and employee retention. Employers are in a unique position to create spaces where mental health is prioritized. This can be achieved through mental health policies that provide support for employees, such as counseling services, flexible working hours, mental health days, training and awareness, and encouraging open conversations. Employees too are encouraged to take active steps towards maintaining their mental health. For example, they can seek support, set boundaries, and make time for self-care, as these are all essential strategies for balancing work and personal life. So looking ahead, as we observe World Mental Health Day, let us make a collective commitment to transforming our workplaces into environments where mental well-being is valued as much as professional success.
And that was consultant psychiatrist at the Acute Psychiatric Unit, Dr. Nadia Wallace. And communications and public relations specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis, says the preparations are well underway for the 24th edition of the World Creole Music Festival. This year's festival will open with major acts from Jamaican sensation Valiant and Triple K International and T-Vice, amongst others.
On Friday evening, we start 8 p.m. sharp. We kick off the festival. These are the artists performing on Friday evening. Ecstasy Band and TK International out of Dominica, alongside acts such as T-Vice out of Haiti, Nadia Batson from Trinidad and Tobago, Valiant from Jamaica, and Rotimi out of Nigeria. On Saturday, October 26th, we start 8 p.m. On the main stage, you will witness out of Dominica, the Caribbean Music Awards People's Choice, Mr. Asa Banton. Also, the Caribbean Music Awards Artist of the Year in the Booyah category, Mr. Ridge is going to be on stage as well. Alongside Pooders. Also expect on the stage, out of the French West Indies, Kassab. From Jamaica, Damian Marley, Stephen Marley. Out of Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, Wizkid. And out of St. Lucia, Umpa and Servants. On Sunday, final night, we begin at 5 p.m. On the stage, we have Kai from Haiti, Signal Band and Midnight Groovers out of Dominica, Skinny Fabulous from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Voice from Trinidad and Tobago, Tian Winter out of Antigua, Gramps Morgan and his friends, Dwayne Stevenson and Luciano from Jamaica, and out of French Guiana, we have Fanny G.
And that was Communications and Public Relations Specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis. And the Environment Health Department has ramped up efforts to mitigate against foodborne illnesses during the independence season. Senior Environmental Health Officer Kalma Louis urges vendors to follow the standards of food hygiene regulations.
The department is committed to ensuring a safe and healthy environment for all attendees of the World Creole Music Festival 2024. As part of our ongoing effort to protect the public's health, I am excited to share our initiatives aimed at ensuring safe, healthy, and an enjoyable experience for all our festival attendees. First, the Environmental Health Department will be monitoring food. All our food vendors are present, have undergone the health education session, and are certified and up to date, or they are in the process in certification to minimize the risk of foodborne illnesses. Our team will be on site to ensure that all the food handling and preparation practices meet the stringent health standards. We also want to urge attendees to be vigilant and report any concern regarding food safety to our teams, as your health is our top priority. Together, we can ensure a safe and enjoyable culinary experience at festival. Vendors, you are reminded of your responsibility to follow the standards of the food hygiene regulations. We are asking you to dress properly. This is very important to the Environmental Health Department.
And that was Senior Environmental Health Officer Kalma Louis. And the products and services of over 60 local small manufacturers, agro-processors and service providers will be on display as the National Development Foundation of Dominica, NDFD, hosts its 8th edition of Creole in the Streets. The event will take place on Friday, October 18th, 2024, under the theme A Fusion of Tradition, Innovation and Commerce. PRO of the NDFD, Creole in the Streets, Damian Dumas, says the event is aimed at bringing more awareness to local products and services.
In front of NDFD, that entire street is going to be braced and fully packed with about 65, and I think I heard that we have a few more persons, local entrepreneurs, showcasing their different products and services under the different categories of agro-processing, agriculture, services, tourism and vending, manufacturing, food, distributive trade, and the likes. So it's going to be a jam-packed event, and it's going to be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on October 18th. Now, the main objectives of Creole in the Streets, because it's a very costly event, but NDFD spares no efforts in standing by our mandate in supporting and promoting small businesses in Dominica. Now, the main objectives we have are to increase awareness of high quality products available locally, creating marketing and advertising opportunities for small and micro businesses, opportunities to secure orders and customers for those vendors, providing these micro businesses and their owners with an opportunity to promote sales during the independence and the festival season, and lastly but not least, developing export potential of the small and micro businesses and creating linkages with diasporans visiting during the independence season.
And that was a PRO of the NDFD, Creole in the Streets, Damian Dumas. And on the feature segment of our news, 5 students go after the title of DBS Radio Independence Creole Speech Winner tomorrow. They are Shanika Alexander of Pierre Charles Secondary School, Renee Joseph of Wesley High School, Lydia Charles of Dominica Grammar School, Rudnaline Desimond of St. Martin's Secondary, and Joella Joseph of Convent High School. We begin with Shanika Alexander of Pierre Charles Secondary School.
Well, I'm very excited, I'm honored, I'm happy because it's like people around my same age group coming together and we're speaking about our native language, which is Creole.
Also, tell us how prepared you are for the competition.
I am very prepared. Mwen pa we, mwen ka vini. Lebe zoke tan we because I practiced and rehearsed and I'm ready.
And what final message would you have for the listeners?
I would just like to say tune in to come and listen to us because we're going to be speaking about our Creole language and you should get to learn more about our Creole language.
So my name is Renee Joseph. I am representing Whistler High School for the competition, for the Creole competition, which is 11th of October, and I am very super excited to represent my school and make the best out of it. Non, moi c'est Renée et je vais aller représenter Whistler High School et je suis vraiment excitée pour me parler de l'école moi et qui j'aime faire best de lui.
Bonjour tout le monde. Non, moi c'est Lydia Charles qui représente the Dominica Grammar School. Come join us at the 2024 Independent Secondary School Competition at Alliance Française, October 11. Creole, c'est une langue moi aimé autant. Moi content pour opportunité ça là pour poser Creole en Dominique.
I am Rednaline Desmond. I'm really excited about the competition, but also a bit nervous, which I guess is normal. But overall, I am feeling confident. And for the preparation, we've been preparing well, just to making sure that everything's on point and ready. And I'm really looking forward to showing what we've been working on.
I am Joella Joseph representing the Convent High School at the DBS Radio Creole Speech Competition. I am thrilled to be participating in the competition. Preparations for the competition have been very exciting, taking me into the depths of my ancestral Creole language. Eve prepare kozo, paske mwen prepare pouzo.
And that was some of the voices of the participants for the first ever DBS Radio Independence Creole Speech Competition at the Alliance Française today or tomorrow on Friday. Taking us to the end of this evening's featured segment and national focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
What's on your back to school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back to school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
With NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speed delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
DBS News.
And welcome back. And now news from the region. A new wave of unrest on Martinique has resulted in one death and numerous injuries as protests over high prices escalate. Authorities reported on Thursday today that a man succumbed to gunshot wounds amid violent clashes between demonstrators and police, which also left 12 officers injured. The island, home to approximately 350,000 residents, has faced weeks of turmoil fueled by rising living costs. From Wednesday night into Thursday today, protesters looted shops as well as set burning barricades and clashed with law enforcement. According to local prefecture, the deceased was found by police responding to looting reports at a shopping center in Roberts. He was later declared dead in the hospital, prompting an investigation into the circumstances of his death, as authorities confirmed that police did not fire their weapons during the unrest. And on the international scene, according to officials, at least 8 people have died in Hurricane Milton's path of destruction through Florida. The toll includes 5 people in St. Lucie, country, where the storm spawned tornadoes on Wednesday. Governor Ron DeSantis has said the state is anticipating more casualties. Milton dropped more than 18 inches of rain on St. Petersburg, representing a more than 1 in 1,000 year rainfall event for the area. Milton, the third hurricane to hit Florida this year, has knocked out power for more than 3 million people in the state. President Joe Biden said there is going to be a need for the aftermath and that Congress, whose members are currently in recess, should return and address emergency needs immediately. Well, this brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
And welcome to your DBS Evening Sports for today, Thursday, October 10 for 2024. First off, West Indies women pull off an 8-wicket win over Bangladesh women's in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup match today. Batting first, Bangladesh women posted 103 for 8. Karishma Ramarak got 4 for 17 and Afi Fletcher 2 for 25. In response, West Indies posted 104 for 2, getting to their target total with 43 balls remaining. Captain Haley Matthews made 34 while Stephanie Taylor retired hurt on 27. Karishma Ramarak was named player of the match.
You know, it's always good to contribute to the team's win, so I'm just really happy that I was able to do that today.
How did you enjoy the conditions here at Sharjah?
It was quite slow early up, and I felt like, you had to kind of vary your pace as much as possible, and I was able to do that well, so I'm really thankful for that.
Bangladesh started well with the bat, but you pulled it back towards the last 10 overs. Talk us through the mindset out in the field. Was there some conversations that the West Indies had midway through the innings?
Yeah, obviously we knew that they have a couple of batters who could, hit the ball really well, so we just had to stay patient, and, the wickets would have come once we stayed patient.
How was the feeling within the camp after a good win like that? Your batters made light work of the total. You must be feeling confident?
Yeah, of course. The way the girls went about the chase, was really happy and good to see that, some of them again runs on the end of the tournament when we really need it. So I think the girls are really happy with the win, and I think, we'll have a good couple of days off after this.
And personally, how are you feeling with your form at the moment?
As I said, I'm really happy to contribute. I felt like, at the start of the tournament, I wasn't as effective as I should have been, but I'm happy to, find that form back.
Player of the match, Karishma Ramarak. And Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George, on his encouraging Dominicans or young people in Dominica to make use of the various sporting facilities which have been put in place by the government. Senator George says lighting upgrades amongst other works are being undertaken on several community playing fields across the island.
Obviously, the overall objective is to see more sports being played within the communities across Dominica. And as I've always indicated, the only way a country is going to develop and sustain world-class athletes is by having a good grassroots system at the community level that can expose young guys to sports, identify talent early, and provide the right system to nurture these talents. So, government remains committed to ensuring that every student, regardless of the location, can have access to quality programs and facilities. And this is why currently we are undertaking improvements in and lighting upgrades at several community playing fields designed to encourage young persons to use these spaces to develop their skills. And this program will definitely continue in the long term, and the government must be commended for this, especially in a time where there are so many competing priorities. But as I have said before, my only concern is that when government expends all its monies in upgrading playing fields, in constructing hard courts, in developing indoor facilities, and organizing school sport programs, I don't think enough of our young people make optimum use of these opportunities. I believe if we can fix this within our communities, we will definitely be guaranteed to continue producing world-class athletes on a more consistent basis. Obviously, there are other important factors, but I believe this is a very important factor that we need to pay some attention to. And of course, if this is done, we can prove to the world that even if we are a small island, we can definitely produce top athletes and compete with anyone from anywhere in the world. So, as we look ahead, I really commend government for the work that it has been doing on behalf of the young sportsmen and women, and I urge our youth to recognize that sport is a powerful tool for personal and economic development. But in order to achieve what you want, you have to position yourselves to make the most of the investments that are being done at this time.
And that was a Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George. And head coach of the Petro-Caribe Pointe Michel football team, Herskel Gregoire, is hoping his team can put together a decent run to avoid being relegated in the DFA Premier League. Pointe Michel is sitting in 9th place on the points table, just 1 point in front of Bafa State FC in the battle to avoid relegation. Pointe Michel will take to the field tonight in a crucial match against a struggling Sagicor Southeast team.
Yes, Gavin, I like how you said it, crucial, but to me crucial is an understatement when it comes to that game we have tomorrow there. Right now, as I see it, is we need to win at all costs. As we know, it's always a battle going up against Southeast, whether they're in poor form or not. It's always a struggle. And thinking of our loss over the weekend was a tough one as well. It's a very tough pin to swallow, especially as we were in it for most of the game, and then we just slipped up towards the end. We didn't capitalize on our chances we got, and that cost us the game.
You're going to be missing your captain, team leader, Marcus Bredas, who is out on national duties with the senior men's national football team. How much of a loss is that for you guys? And, how would you make up for his loss of leadership on the field?
Yeah, I'm really glad you made mention of our captain will be missing tomorrow in that game. Once the national team is out on national duty, the local league should be suspended until the return of the team. I mean, I'm subject to correction, but to my knowledge, that's how I know it. So, not having him tomorrow is a very crucial thing for us. He's a player, you asked about replacing him. To me, I feel he's an irreplaceable player. He's not the kind of player you can just get somebody to fill in the blanks. Like you said, he has been our team leader for the entire season. For a matter of fact, from the past couple of seasons, he has been our best player on the team. And without him tomorrow, it's going to be very costly.
And that was head coach of the Petro-Caribe Pointe Michel football team, Herskel Gregoire. Earlier this week, the DFA announced that matches will continue in the Premier League during the international break and that clubs with less than 3 players on the national team would have to continue playing. Meantime, Pointe Michel sits in 9th place on 12 points, whilst Bafa State at 10th place on 11 points. Pointe Michel, however, has a game in hand. Pointe Michel will battle Southeast at 6:30 tonight at the DFA Technical Centre. And still in sports here, Harry Brook became the first England batter for 34 years to hit a triple century in Test cricket on an astounding 4th day against Pakistan in Multan. Brooks' 317 is the 6th score in excess of 300 by an England man, and his partnership of 454 with Joe Root, who made 262, was the 4th highest for any wicket in the history of the game. A total of 823 for 7 declared is also the 4th highest ever and England's largest since 1938. It meant England took a lead of 267, a barely believable advantage considering Pakistan posted 556 in the first innings. At stumps on day 4, the scores were Pakistan 556 and 152 for 6, and England 823 for 7 declared. Still in more sports here, Jamaican sprint legend Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is set to be honored in a big way for her great contribution on and off the track in her country. Ashoka Road in Waterhouse, Kingston is set to be renamed Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce Drive in recognition for the 10th time world champion's contribution to the sport and her community in Jamaica. Fraser Price boasts 10 world titles and 8 Olympic medals and remains the only sprinter, male or female, to claim 5 world titles, having clinched 100 meters gold in 2009, 2013, 15, 19 and 2022. The 37-year-old was born and raised in Ashoka Road and has used her success and popularity to inspire many in Jamaica and globally with her charitable work. Fraser Price runs the Pocket Rocket Foundation, which has been in existence since 2013 and provides scholarships and grants to young athletes. The foundation broke a record this year when it granted scholarships to 20 students. Well, this brings us to the end of this evening's news and sports. A special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team and link person DJ Haloboy.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening, welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 10th day of the 10th month of October 2024. We'll begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. We announce the death of Humbert Roy Joseph, aged 68, who resided in the village of Boetica. He was a member of the Boetica National Employment Program and a founding member of the Boetica Cultural Group. He died on Saturday, the 21st of September at the Laplin Health Center. He was the father of Denison King Dice, Leroy and Jarvis, Casey and Rosette Joseph. He will also be remembered by his 4 grandsons, Denick Joseph, Joel Fingal, Aslan and Austin Johnson, 2 granddaughters, Chidai and Sharika Joseph, brothers Anthony, Kenrick, Daniel and Dorian Joseph, sisters Patricia and Joan Joseph, uncles Alphonse, Philip, Clem and Augustine Seja, aunts Jane, Eugenia, Mary and Rosa Seja, sisters-in-law Joanna, Andrina, Anne and Mona Joseph, sons-in-law Neville Johnson and Jamal Ramsey, nieces and nephews including Jackson, Valda, Vern, Marlon, Israel, Marshall, Danny, Simeon, Persia, Terry, Natisha, Dylan, Kendra, Natasha, Shemaine, Lovett, Tasha, Dana, Siobhan, Bado, Denisha, Glenda, Verena and Lucia, grandnieces and nephews including Irvin and Kaylee, special cousins and best friend Rosalind Seja, cousins including Julia, Sherry, Ronnie, Maria, Stuart, Connie, Timothy, Brandon, Pernell, Esther, Kenny, Fletcher, Flavia, Monica, Clarissant and Agnes. Close relatives and friends including Misha, James, Sandra, Philomen, Isaiah, Don, Clint, Margaret, Nettie, Titit, Faustina, Ursula, Magdalene, Andrina, Joseph and family in Bath Road, Nelson Smith and family, Lorraine, Palestina, Evelyn, Prince, Kevin, Verna, Benno, Lloyd and their families, Sandra in the UK, and Bernice. Co-workers and good friends: Anne-Marie in Guadeloupe, Catherine Laronde and the Boetica NEP team, Elkin Saint-Jean, Randolph, Leoma and Consular Joseph, Alan, Susu, Eva Vigilant, Rufus Hilaire in England, Baba in Guadeloupe and members of the Boetica Cultural Group, the Joseph, Seja, Pascal, Senville, Lando and Daniel families, doctors, nurses and staff of the Laplaine Health Team, the entire community of Boetica, Laplaine, Dailies and other relatives and friends, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Humbert Roy Joseph, who resided in the village of Boetica, can be viewed from 2:30 p.m. on Friday the 11th of October at the Boetica Catholic Chapel. The funeral mass will take place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Laplaine Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Dewan Dura, age 27, of Mon Georgine Maho. He died on Wednesday, the 18th of September. He was the son of Claudette Royer and Christmas Mesh John. He will also be remembered by his brothers, Christus C.J. John Jr. and Clinton Carl in Miami. His sisters, Diaz, Darna, Tanya, and Jade Eugene. His aunts, Vigeline, Deborah, and Glenda Royer. Fiona Toussaint, Marvelyn, Valina John, Marvelyn and Vinette Eugene, Claudette, Shirls and Ville Shillingford and Claire Blaise. His uncles, Robertson George, Curtis and Gary Royer, Reynold Toussaint, Barry, Philip and family in England, Sky, Square, Kurt and Brian John, Ernest Louis, Alfonso, Samuel and Eugene. His cousins, Reginald Richards and Lemuel Dorset in Guadeloupe, Selena Cooper, Bianca, Reynold Jr., Shaquille, Kareem and Faith Toussaint, Jean-Marc Brady in Buffalo. Tyler Barron and family, Rick Royer and family, Mohamed Lambassier, Trey and Steffi Esprit, Ruthin Barron and family, Avril Williams, Tabitha and Tamisha Celestine in Barbados, Flint Williams and family in Canada, the Royer family in St. Joseph, Rosanna Royer John, Decima, Joel, Hannah and Jacobson Royer, Leisha Eugene, Nigel Montout, Ronna Amor, Miles and Casey Esprit, Tinko Esprit and family, James Esprit, Mervyn Royer in England, Auntie Alice and family, Letitia and family in Dublin, and the Charles family in St. Joseph. His grandparents, Silma Esprit and Claudius Royer. His grandaunts, Elizabeth Williams, née Royer, Hilda Bernard and Vernie Esprit in England, and Celita in Guadeloupe. Granduncle, Robert and family in England. Adopted aunts, Marvella Ernest, Charlene Stevenson, Marcia Gabriel, Cloney Esprit, Claudette, Claire and Delphina. Adopted family, Brunson, Alda, Sky, Shine, Seven and Shalom Dura in England. Close friends, Poppy, Cedric and family, Ariel and family, Diana, Serena, Rika, Capitoli, Jord, Booster, Mate, Barrett, White Boy, Bones, Jep, Yellow, Paris, Hugo, Zep, Burke, Kenny G, Andy, Danik, Gato, Chiny Bone, Marlo, Buffer, Retty, Riss, Bumper, Emo, Meshi, Ghetto, Farad, Jay, Basham, Paris, Nita, Beverly, Brenda, Lily, Deli, Boxhead, Freddie and Ash in Bath Estate, Zadia, Zina, Josiah, Rain, Jason, Jiggy, Boomer in New York, Kesla, Patch, Bones, Chantel and family, Sarali, TJ, Kaka, Kadisha, Benno, Lani, Alanis, Jaden, Shannon Larrock, Kelleen Nicholas, Ronnie Isidore, Kasani Laville, Benoit Badwell, Raful and family, managers and staff of Do It Center, Fresh Market, Coca-Cola, Benjo Simos, George Drop, Max Roy Trading, Fine Foods Inc., Dominica Coconut Products, DCP, Kubali, Port Workers, former classmates of Pioneer Prep, Orion Academy and Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, ITSS, Truckers, Kalo, Stephen family, Speedy Recovery family, Rapid Response, Kool-Aid, Benna, Ted, Chanel, Stanet, Larry, Denzel, Clement, Tinom, Rupi, Jerry, Delroy, Punky, Fidel, Castro, Ath, Roy, Wawa, Flacker, Wendell, Junjun aka Father and Son, Troy, Markel, Big Stuff, Alex, Jason, Dre and other names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Duane Dura of Mont Georgine Maho can be viewed from 2:30 p.m. on Friday, the 11th of October at the Kenfield Gospel Mission Church. The funeral service will take place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Maho Cemetery. The funeral entrusted to Gentle Rest Funeral Service Inc. Announced the death of Ethelene Honoré Laville, better known as Faye, age 83, of Penville, who resided in Lagon, Portsmouth. She died on Sunday, the 22nd of October, at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. She was the mother of Veronica Levif in Martinique, James and Evelyn Lloyd, Michael Smith, Richard and Christopher Laville, and Theophile Seaman in Antigua. She will also be remembered by her 17 grandchildren: Carlton in New Jersey, Sharon, Kathleen, Giselle, Jasmine, Yolanda, Mickey, Vicky, Nikki, Brianna in Martinique, Rishiana, Richie, Kevin, Priya, Ryan, Raheem, and Margaret. Her 18 great-great-grandchildren: Javon, Giovanni, Kerdisha, Ajani, Gina, Dariel, Amora, Rikayon, Noel, Stephen, Ashton, Zoe, Andy, Maya, Selena, Kalon, Mateo, and Kalium. Nieces and nephews including Jane Christopher, Adelaide, Henry, Tazo, Griffin and Veronica Etienne, Maida, Felix, Steve, Helen Etienne, Mary, Alma, Cecile, and Shermel Charles. Sons-in-law Roosevelt Boye and Michael Leviv. Daughter-in-law Tiny Laville. Close friends Clara, Alexis and family, Petra